to me. Thanks. Feel so appreciated.
I think I speak for everybody when I say, Nodal, that nobody's ever appreciated you.
We all know that last session was a bust.
So, one thing that happened last session that I thought was very amusing was, remember the thing that McDohl did to get Florian killed? Like, where he turns himself invisible and went scouting ahead into dangerous, unknown territory?
Yeah.
Last session, he did that with his brand new character, Connor.
Right.
Same exact thing.
Who's this large man?
It's Connor.
My southwest.
His name's Connor.
Why is he so tremendous?
I have no idea.
This is his job interview. It's fine.
Seeker, you were actually on the other side of that door the whole time, right?
This is a pretty teeny tiny room with a bunch of barrels and shit crammed into it.
Yeah, I was in one of the barrels. Playing the long game.
So Seeker's on the other side of this closed door.
Listen. I have a suspicion they're trying to get me killed.
Mm-hmm.
There, I can make some space for Seeker. No, I'm trying to make it so you don't make noise.
Okay. Very good at that.
Who has a 100-word summary of all the trouble you guys got up to last session?
And do a good job this.
We met. Shaken Gnome.
Yeah, we shook a gnome. We got a monk
shaking happened.
Who apparently is an adventurer. I don't know how that's going to work out.
Yeah. Well, that's why this is our job interview for him.
We spent a day with the gnome in this tunnel place, the colon of the dungeon. We snuck past some royal guards, discovered some string traps, and we expected the king's body is like right here. But there's probably guards through there.
Okay.
Real quick, Rick.
What? Go ahead, Treble.
I was gonna tell him his preview is messed up.
Yeah, you're broadcasting with your splash screen.
Okay. Is that a problem?
I can't help.
Like, we're gonna have to
We're
fight
gonna
about it?
We are. I can't help but notice that you got significantly further than this right here, like just this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you missed the room where like we tried almost like in this room right here. Just so you know, don't look at this wall. There's magic words that compel you to read them, and if you read them out loud, we have to fight the evil wall from Final Fantasy IV.
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
I've stopped people from speaking them about 6 times now.
Yep.
What are the words?
We don't know.
They're written here, so don't look at it. There's a magical compulsion that you'll say it if you read them. And I put some dirt over the first couple of words.
So
Scattered the Elbereth.
Those are the best words, though. The rest of it's just fucking knock on.
It's literally the only NetHack joke I know, and I'm going for it every single opportunity I can, Brickroad.
Oh, what was the joke?
He scattered the Elbereth words on the floor.
That doesn't work as well anymore.
Scattered the Elbereth?
Yeah.
You don't scatter Elbereth, you engrave Elbereth.
Yeah, but then, you know, as
your
you're
joke failed.
Brickroad!
Sorry.
Listen! Let me have this, okay?
No. You don't scatter Elbereth, you degrade it if you move around on top of it.
But we decided we're going to we're told because he's going to kill the guards during the shift, and we were like, nah, we don't want you to kill the guards, and he's like, nah, I'm totally going to kill the guards, and we're like, okay, now we got to beat you up, and that's where we left it off.
Didn't say that.
Who said that?
I said that casting magic weapon on this warhammer and swinging.
Okay.
The universal language of nah.
All right.
Violence.
So, like, why is there a drow in the basement?
He's Journey's.
Yeah, he wants to do the same. He's doing the same job we're doing.
But
Oh,
he's doing it for Journey. Also, he's like a Journey like fanboy, like super hardcore. So,
Would you say that
He's-
Journey is his waifu?
yes, he's got like a
No.
Journey body pillow.
See, that's how you nail a joke, McDohl. You have to understand the nomenclature.
Brick Road.
no, the nomenclature is behind me.
The fact that. Wow. Wow. You just...
That would be a
Okay.
great name for a wrestling gnome. And in this corner,
carry on.
weighing in at 41 pounds, the nomenclature. So we're like a little onesie.
I think it's called a singlet, Brick Road.
With teddy
Oh.
bear ears on the
Not-
top.
Are you
not
saying
when
I
know-
don't know the nomenclature?
Yeah,
I think-
Yes. Yes, I am.
Do people have to go prone before they hit the three of us with lightning strike?
Somehow his like mustache and sideburns are on the outside of his luchador mask.
I think you could make a mask with that in mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Furiously writing notes down for the next one shot we do.
let's go ahead and roll some initiative.
Oh, I'm so glad you waited for me, guys. Love killing drow.
Who doesn't?
I just want to know why it's always on me to initiate the violence against drow in these campaigns.
You're the best drow murderer.
I guess
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
or
clearly.
at least the most motivated.
For
I
some
don't know that I'm actually the best.
for some reason, there's always like a tendency with this group to want to give the drow the benefit of the doubt, and I don't think it's ever worked once for you.
So you're
Well,
saying
I'd
you
have
don't
given
want
this-
to... You
I'd
don't
have
want to
given this-
initiate the combat?
I'd have given this guy the benefit of the doubt. I was like, yeah, no, I have this poison. It's gonna put the guards to sleep for 3 hours. We're gonna sneak in there. We're gonna find out. No one's gonna get murdered.
That's kind of his plan, except for the part where the poison puts them to sleep for 3 hours.
Right.
If you don't want to initiate the
24.
combat, I got you covered.
26. As Brick Road used to say, there are only 20 sides on the die.
Nodal
Yeah,
just
but I
picks
saw
whatever
all
number
those
he
extra
wants.
sides.
He just, what number up here do I want today? This one looks kind of curvy. It's like an upside down 9. That's cool.
Oh, look at that. I'm on initiative I.
That's the thing. He's looking at the table upside down. He thinks he's actually on 95.
On initiative. Fuck off!
Initiative I.
Seeker, you're up first.
Alright, well, this guy looks like he's ready to party, and I'd prefer if he didn't. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cast Slow on him.
He actually doesn't look like he's ready to party because there was there was Never mind. We're not supposed to tell you. Go ahead and cast slow.
Yeah, I'm just saying, everyone wants to beat up the slow kid. I'm down with it.
Oh.
So, bam. And I'm going to need him to roll me a saving throw. Oh, wait a second. Don't worry about it. He rolled a 5.
Okay. What's his target?
His target is 16.
How does that work if he makes the roll at advantage?
I don't know. Let's go to the rule book. Portent, you can replace any attack, roll, saving throw, or ability check. Well, it's an ability check at advantage, and I'm just replacing it.
It's a saving throw, not an ability check.
Saving throw, and I'm just replacing it. So I would say he doesn't get to roll, but I could also read it as he gets to roll once.
Well,
Either way.
he would roll and get his number, and then you would replace it. Is that correct?
The
Yeah.
stage advice says it's after advantage, disadvantage is applied.
Right. So then, how would it would interact differently with something that I could give myself advantage after the fact?
I guess.
Because
yeah.
I would get, in that case, you do get to roll a third die and then pick the correct one.
Yeah, like if he had lucky.
If he is lucky, then that's a thing.
No drows. Nobody's lucky to be born a drow. Okay, and you cast slow.
All right. Let me go ahead and give the quick rundown because it's a nightmare. Okay. Target speed is halved. -2 to AC and Dex saving throws. Can't use reactions. Can use either an action or a bonus action, not both, and can only make one melee or ranged attack, regardless of abilities or magic item.
Okay.
And if he attempts to cast a spell, he has to roll a die.
Moving or staying put?
I am going to stay put.
It's going to bring us to Connor.
Do I have line of sight on him?
You do not. He's behind total cover from your position.
Okay.
Because remember, there's a row of barrels that separates like his square from Lucius's here. He had stacked them up so we could not be seen from the doorway.
All right. In that case, let's. I'm gonna give.
Are we next to one another?
Yeah.
We could swap. He has no reaction.
You can't.
Oh, we can't? Okay.
Nope. That's not a thing we can do anymore because there's a class feature in Tasha's that essentially allows you to do that. So I can no longer, in good conscience, allow players to do that for free.
Oh, my bad. I thought we just couldn't do it without provoking.
So Connor, as he sees combat start to fly, looks around weirdly, opens his mouth, closes his mouth, and goes outside.
So you're going to open the door?
Yeah. Oh, he trapped the door, didn't he?
No, it's just closed.
Oh, then yeah, I'm gonna open the door.
Okay, you closing it behind you or leaving it open from the hallway?
Let's leave it open.
Okay,
Raised in a barn.
it's gonna bring us to Gustavus.
I'm gonna close the door.
Okay.
And then I'm going to step right here because I was not raised in a barn. Does he still has full cover, right?
Yes.
Connor might have
Congratulations.
actually been raised in a barn. Now that I think about it.
I am going to. Can I grapple Seeker and move him?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
eminently grabbable.
Okay. Seeker, I'm grappling you.
Yeah, you got it. I don't want to be here.
Okay, and I'm just going to set him down like a little baby right here.
Okay.
Then I'm going to step right here.
That's gonna bring us
And-
to. Are you done?
Grapple replaces one of my attacks, correct?
Correct.
So I could theoretically make another attack on this man.
Sure.
Okay.
Benefit of being a fight man.
That is a 13 to hit.
No, sir.
Okay. So like I said, theoretically.
Okay.
And that is the end of my turn.
It's gonna bring us to Alexander.
So Alex reaches into his alchemy kit, pulls out an iron band, and straps with a semi-precious stone on it. Straps around the hilt of the warhammer. That's a magic weapon.
Okay.
I'll mark off the spell, and then two-handed. This is going to be +9 to hit, D10 +6. So first attack. I'll hit an armor class of 19.
19 hits.
For 11 bludgeoning damage, magical. Second attack. It's a natural one. That's the end of Alex's turn.
Okay. And you can see the magic effects on him. Although he's even slowed, he's still fast enough to dodge Gus's blow. And you bring this magical warhammer down on top of him. And he crumples down to his knees. And he puts his hands out on the floor in front of him. And he says, "I yield. This venture is not worth my life."
Can I try an insight to see if he's just bluffing to put a bunch of needles in me?
You don't have an action to use at the moment, so no.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's the end of my turn then.
Well, this was on his turn.
Oh, sure.
He knelt to the ground, put out his hands, and he insists that he yields, that this venture is not worth his life. Lucius.
Dodge.
Okay. Seeker.
I'll attempt to incite him. Seeker's been known to be inside 4 times.
You can't see him from your position, so you don't know what he's doing. You just heard what he said.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and be here behind Lucius. That's what I'm doing.
It's a good place. Connor, you're outside the now closed door. It's kind of rude to just slams the door in your face. It's like you're not welcome in this party or something.
No, this is good.
It's
Connor likes it out here.
It's all Raz, the new guy.
There's lots of room out here, so we can shoot things.
Back to Gus.
Gus is going to just hold an attack to hit this man with my cutlass if he tries anything funny.
You gotta be
Like,
more
if he
specific
attacks,
tries anything funny.
if he does anything hostile in the sense of if he attacks,
Give me something. If he attacks.
If he attacks, yeah.
Okay. Alex, you gonna finish him off?
No, Alex will sling the warhammer back onto his belt. Can I do that insight?
If he was going to shoot you with his dart thing, which is bound to his lower arm above his wrist, the way that he has his hands out on the floor, it doesn't look like he has any way to trip the mechanism using his hands.
Okay. Yeah, Alex will strap the warhammer back on his belt and said, "All right, well, get out of here. Sounds like nobody's dying in here today, and nobody has to die."
And he looks up, and you see the fresh wound that you just dealt him with a magical warhammer. And he says, "In any event, we know now what Flumph will kill for." So
I think you'd be very grateful that you don't, in fact, know that.
He points out that you're not willing to kill for the good of your country, but that you're willing to kill in order to advance your own goals.
You're not dead, are you?
He said that he surely would be if he were not currently splayed out on his knees on the ground.
Also, weren't you about to kill our countrymen over there? Like, isn't that why this got started?
He tells you that killing in service of the country or higher ideals can be unavoidable. What Flumph Inc. has done has created the situation where he was promised safety and cooperation, and then they betrayed him.
I don't remember that.
Well, it happened when you weren't here last week. But
I know.
So he knows now what Flumph Inc. will kill for. He knows what sort of people you are. And you have another very uncomfortable several hours to wait. Until shift change this evening. Is anybody going to launch a second surprise?
Is he going to leave before or after the shift change? Like, is he going to leave now, or is he going to still wait for shift change?
He can't leave right now because his captors are standing in between him and the door.
Oh, no, he's free to go. I'd prefer it. I put my hammer back. Alex props himself up against the wall and lights a cigarette.
I'll get out of his way.
Yeah, I'm 4 feet tall, Brick. If I squish myself into this corner, he can squeeze through my
He stands
square.
up, and he puts his back against the wall, and he looks at you very suspiciously. It's all the same to you. I'd rather you stay in front of me. If I give you my back, I'm like to get a knife in it.
None of us have any knives.
And also, we've proven we can't take you from the front.
If we wanted you to be dead, you would be dead right now. Nobody here is going to hurt you on the way out. Someone make sure Connor doesn't hurt him on the way out.
And if I refuse to move, is it to be more violence? He says as he nurses the blood on his brow.
Gus digs through his bag and pulls out a length of rope. Says, "Nope," and you're just, you're just gonna sit here uncomfortably. Then
You're gonna
I'm going to approach him. And I'm going to approach him to start binding him up. Like,
he tells you he would be very careful if he were you. There is a pressure-sensitive trap on the clasp of his belt that he wouldn't want to see you trip accidentally if you're too clumsy with that rope.
Well, that sounds like an item of peace.
It's an item of self-defense.
Connor, get in here.
Connor quietly obliges.
All right, so here's my thought. What we do, we move off into a different part of the catacombs, right? We find a monster. We kill it, and I point at Connor. I think that's your specialty. We bring the corpse here, and we leave it like inside sight of the guardhouse as a distraction. And then when the guards change shift, they'll notice it. They'll go over to investigate it, and someone can sneak in invisible into the room with the king's body to verify that while they're distracted by it.
What are you and Journey playing at?
You gotta... Well, he doesn't give you a look at all because you're standing on the other side of the barrel, so you can't see each other.
Mm-hmm.
He tells you that he's disinclined to give you any more honest answers. But no doubt you have the resources to take the answers from his corpse. That is what you must do if you want him to speak any more to you.
Kind of melodramatic, aren't you?
You guys betrayed him. You told him he was going to cooperate with him, and then you jumped him.
We told him we were going to cooperate with him, and then he said he was going to kill the people, and then we told him that was unacceptable, and he says, "Well, I'm going to do it anyway."
And then you betrayed him.
Yeah.
You got to think like a drow, Gus.
I don't think I can physically do that. That's weird.
I'm just saying, I met Journey, and she didn't seem way into murder.
Journey's not a drow.
I know, I'm just saying, I don't think that she would be 100% in support of your actions.
I don't know how much more I can explain to you that this man is a drow.
Look, Alex doesn't need to rationalize, drow morality. Alex is completely fine with all of this. Alex is
the only one who has the correct perspective in this situation.
Also, Alex was going to not, kill him if he dropped him to 0 hit points. That's the whole reason I used a warhammer instead of a gun.
That's why he's slow.
So what's next?
My original plan was to leave his unconscious body next to the monster, but...
That totally wouldn't kill him. The monster would just kind of sniff at it and...
I don't know, it was going to be a dead monster, and we're going to make it look like he killed the monster, but the monster managed to overcome him, and then all the guards would swarm around it. That was my plan.
This drow with a dart gun has somehow dealt dozens and dozens of hammer blows to this monster's corpse.
I don't know, maybe he grabs onto
How
his
many
belt
members
buckle
of
and a
Fantasy
warhammer pops out.
CSI does the king have on his on his guard?
No, it's NCIS. They got the goth girl with the computer and the.
Yeah, I've seen their investigative capabilities. I think we've got this one.
All right, what's next?
Do I just beat him into unconsciousness? Is that what it is?
Last I heard, you had a rope and you were approaching him and you were going to bind him, and he warned you that
Right.
there's a trick clasp on his belt that's pressure sensitive, so he'd be careful if you were you.
Good thing I'm going to be binding your hands and feet, and I'm not touching your waist.
Tells you that the firing mechanism on his dart gun is also pressure sensitive.
Well, point it at the ground and let it loose.
Or take it off.
Like he points it at the ground and he begins firing darts at the ground. After a dozen or so, he stops.
Is there a buckle or something that holds the thing onto his wrist or something?
There's a clasp where you undo the clasp and then undo the leather lacing on the underside of his arm.
Can I use Mage Hand to undo that lacing?
I don't think Mage Hand can act that delicately.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to be a thief.
Right.
So, okay, I'm gonna bind his arms, his hands and legs, kind of,
Okay.
then tie his hands and legs together.
You do that.
I'm basically using all 50 feet of rope to tie this poor drow.
Make a...
Hog tied.
This is going to be unfair call on my part, but I think it's warranted. I want a dexterity rope use check.
So that's just a straight 19.
Okay.
Because I have got +0 to dexterity, and I don't have. I guess that would be a tool proficiency.
It would be a tool proficiency, but it's not one that's listed in the book. But it's the only one that's applicable to this situation. Actually,
Right.
I think Xanathar's has special rules for ropes like this, but I'm not going to crack a book at the moment. We're looking at 19.
Yeah, just
All
a
right.
naked 19.
You bind
Sassy
him.
nine.
Mm-hmm. I'm like tying his individual fingers up with the excess rope.
You can't rope. Your rope's not that thin. You have a rope, not a shoelace.
If only I were a rogue, I would have all that string that they come with for some reason. Anyway, yeah, okay. All right. And now I'm going to grab the edge of the rope, and I'm going to be like, all right,
You gonna drag him along with you?
yeah. Just dragging him along the floor.
Gus, where are you going?
Oh, I thought we were going to like take him out in the hall.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, he's fine there then.
I'm still not sure why you tied him up. Are you planning to let him go once we're done here?
Nobody else is dying today if I can help it.
He might stab us.
Well,
If-
at least tie him to a barrel or something.
I'm going to. Okay, what's in the barrels?
Casks of water and cheap liquor.
Okay,
Water's
are
real
there,
heavy.
are there
Water's
any?
heavy.
Are there any empty barrels?
Yeah, one or two. I mean, the
Okay.
ones that he has stacked up in front of you would have to be empty because he doesn't have
Okay.
a lot of space to roll heavy ones around.
I'm going to put him into a barrel
I'm
and
going
put
to
the lid
stop
back on.
Gus from putting him in a barrel. Just tie him to one of the water barrels. That's got to weigh 300 pounds. We can let him go when we're done here.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
Okay.
that's my plan. Is we find a monster, we put the corpse out somewhere where it'll be a big distraction, and then when the guards change, they notice it, and someone sneaks into the king's chamber invisible during that. Anyone have a better plan?
No, it's pretty solid, I think.
Do you have sleep prepared, Seeker?
Do I have sleep prepared? Okay.
Yes.
That's me talking very slowly as I check to see if I have sleep prepared.
Oh,
Do a
and
quick mental inventory.
Secret,
No, I don't.
also, you have a good berry that Connor would have given you.
How good is it?
Good.
I think everybody's asked that question now. So
Florian would have said Great Berry. I'm just checking.
So what's next?
I mean, I really don't want to go off and start a fight on this side of the thing because we'd have to, like, I don't know if we can get back to the other side of the catacombs.
This connects to the sewers, so my thought is we can probably get out that way.
But any fighting we do down here is going to basically draw the attention of any guards that are on duty. So
I mean, I think if we've got that door closed,
Yeah, we know there are
I think if
guards
I
in
use my
here.
hammer instead of a gun, thank you for the hammer, I think we could at least be somewhat quiet.
So you're saying we're going to go in here? You want us to go in here?
No, we
No.
want to go like this way or this way or this way or this way. Just find a monster. This place is
I
apparently
was
crawling.
saying there are guards in here.
Oh, yeah.
I was just pointing that out.
This
Yeah,
was
there's guards
the
in there,
barracks.
there's guards in here, and there's guards in here. But I think we just go down one of these chambers, find some sort of monster. Again, I think Connor's an expert in this from my understanding. Kill it as quietly as possible, throw the corpse somewhere that it'll be seen when they change shifts, and use it as a distraction for someone to sneak into the burial chamber invisible during that.
I mean,
How does
or
one kill a monster quietly as possible?
Well, you don't shoot it, for one thing.
our goal is just to see if there's the king in there.
Yeah.
So I got this spell. It's called Arcane Eye.
Mm-hmm.
We wait for the shift change. I send my invisible floating eye to look in that room.
When the door's open,
Yeah, and we call it a day.
can you just pop the eye outside of this room and then move it around?
I'd need to crack this door open a little bit to let it out, but once it is, it can slip in
How
through
long's the eye last?
an hour.
Okay.
Can you make? We could also make
why don't you
your
switch
familiar
positions?
invisible.
I mean, most of us can be invisible. It's just a question of like opening a door is going to be noticed.
Now that Tasha's out, every class can be visible.
If you think a magical eye would do it, Seeker, that sounds like a good plan to me. Do you have more than one of those?
I have 2 of them.
Do you want to take a look around with it before we do this and see like where the guards are now, or are you just going to wait for the shift change?
I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. I say we just do the first one about 50 minutes before the shift change, so that possibly that one could last.
So I have a question for you, Seeker. How specific can you like? How specific is locate object? It's like, can you locate object for like the corpse of a king? Or is it...
I could search for a corpse. I could maybe pull that one off. The issue would be
It would
if
ping any
it's-
corpse within 1,000 feet. Yeah.
it's worth checking. Like let's give it a go and see what the worst that can happen is. It's a relatively low level spell. I don't mind casting it. Connor, how good are you at dodging things? You wearing armor?
Wait, what's the plan?
Seeker flows a little stream of consciousness here. He goes, never mind. Lucius, you were complaining about your armor being broken, right? And Seeker grabs onto Lucius's ankle and casts mage armor.
Oh, well, thank you.
But it only applies to his ankle, right?
It's actually
Mage
it
ankle.
makes
It's the
ankle
inverse
weak
of
point.
Achilles.
Yeah,
Uh,
Achilles is mage armor.
Sure.
So answer that question. What's the AC on that? So I don't know
13
that
plus
spell.
your dex modifier.
13. Excellent.
All right, and then I'm going to cast locate object, looking for the nearest corpse. Dwarf corpse.
So you guys have been going through these catacombs, and most of them are ancient dwarven make, and a lot of them look like they are crypts where bodies might at one point have been in tombs, but they're not now. And Seeker. So that's why you don't get a ping from the rest of the dungeon. Let me make sure that the spell's going to work the way I think it does.
Uh-huh.
You don't find one within 1,000 feet of you.
Right, and I tell that to the others.
That's at least a little alarming, because that means the dozens and dozens of crypts that you've seen since you've entered these catacombs are all empty.
I mean, they can do things to shield stuff from divination magic, and a paranoid king crazy about magic probably would do so.
Also, if I recall, that spell also has a limiting factor about like a certain width of like material.
Lead line caskets. Yeah.
So it's not just lead. It's also, I think, like
It's
don't know.
only lead.
It's only lead.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Look, would anyone? I've thought about building lead line caskets before, so it's definitely not beyond the king.
Right, I was willing to give it a shot. I didn't necessarily think it would work, but
Ooh, what if like the king has built an entire lead-lined room, like panic room down here?
But if you're standing inside of it, you don't know.
well, the good news is
We
that
opened the door, didn't we? Because that would be
Arcane Eye
fun.
doesn't care about lead.
How many bars do I have in here? If I check my magic mace, does it have?
Stop that.
Sorry, hammer.
What's next?
I mean, we're just waiting at this point, right?
Okay.
I think we're
So-
waiting for like 50 minutes ahead of the shift change.
Yeah, 45.
Gus,
Mm-hmm.
throughout the rest of this waiting, so you guys had to wait the rest of the remainder of the afternoon, and he was going to spring his trap on the evening shift change, because one of the guards that was coming in for relief is blind in one eye. Was an advantage he was hoping to seize. So you guys are waiting for several hours in this room, and it's unnerving because at no point during this time is Kenduis not looking at one of you. Right now it's Gus, 'cause that's the one sitting in front of him. He's just casting his gaze at Gus with an almost serene visage across his face as he's completely bound by your rope.
Uh-huh.
But he doesn't speak to you. He just looks and disapproves.
Like a cat. Gotcha.
When the time comes, what's next?
All right, let's crack the door open a little bit and let my Arcane Eye free.
Now, does it make like a little scooter noise as it moves around?
Oh, thank God it does not, because that
Could
would
we
be
make like
real.
a little Jetsons car noise?
Yeah, that's what exactly.
That's what I meant
was
by little
picturing.
scooter noise. So okay,
Seeker's making that noise with his mouth.
it does make that noise, but it's magic, so you can't hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, glad we cleared that up. What are you doing with the eye?
All right, let me bring out a little token here for an eye.
Oh, it's a black eye. Okay.
I don't remember. Did we
Give me some
disable
time.
his trap?
This was the spider silk that he had
Yeah.
placed out. That's virtually impossible to detect. Connor found it because he wedged up against it with magic boots. He just happened to be wearing magic boots at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming you all know that these two squares are dangerous to walk on, but you still don't know exactly why. And he's not like to tell you at this point.
Like, if we suspect that they're coming down from this way, they're going to hit these things.
Correct. That's the idea.
And I just
Should
wanna
I
make
try
sure
and
that-
disarm that?
I expected it to be an alarm, to be honest.
I mean, disarming it would be as easy as breaking the silk at any point. 'Cause remember, it crisscrosses these two squares, but then it snakes inside of this door and underneath the barrels where you found
Oh,
him
can I just
in wait.
cut the silk inside the room then?
You can, but not without triggering whatever the supposed trap might be.
Okay, what could I do? Like, so is there a way to disarm it without triggering it?
Be an excellent question to ask the guy who set the trap.
Sorry, I just want to make sure that if there is a shift change, they don't activate this trap because
No, that's a good call.
That would be a real good gag to play on us.
So the idea is that any amount of pressure touching the spider silk at any point would send information down the remainder of the line. So touching the silk inside this room would be the same as touching it outside the room.
I mean, I take it if I ask the guy what's going to happen on the shift change when they step on the silk, he won't give me any answers, right?
He tells you, or he asks you if it were you, what sort of trap would you set?
I would just set an alarm. Make sure that I was aware if anything happened outside of the shift change that I wasn't aware of, and otherwise have it just ping in my head.
He tells you that's a very good idea.
Alright, well, he's a smartass. I'm gonna send this Arcane Eye.
Okay.
Let's go hunting a bit. Oh god. Okay. Are any of these doors down here open?
This is one of the rolling stone doors. It's currently closed.
Okay.
Where's my reveal?
What's around this corner?
Around the corner is a hallway heading off to the south. And on either side of the hallway are 4 alcoves. 3 of them lay open and look empty inside. This bottom one here is closed with one of the rolling stone doors.
Okay.
The hallway continues and then starts to veer off to the right.
Alright, yeah, and I'll keep following it.
And it dead ends at one of the large rolling stone doors.
Alright, and let's back up. I'm just kind of describing to the others what I'm seeing.
Okay.
What's up here? Is this door open?
That's just a doorway going into what might have been a meeting chamber or something at one point. It sits in ruins now. And it has these bizarre little alcoves off to the sides. Looking at them in some detail, you can see where the same crypts may have been placed in some of these walls, but it's been bricked over. And more recently than the rest of the catacombs. This looks like the kinds of craftsmanship you'd see in the more modern areas, like we're in the room you guys are in now. So it was part of the Dwarven crypts at one point, but they've been mortared over within the past couple hundred years. And the door at the end of this room is another rolling stone door.
Okay. Was there anything in the previous areas that you would have wanted me to check on, guys?
There's magic words written on the floor in here.
If I recall correctly, the drow said that they suspected the body was somewhere down in this area. Is that correct?
The area you're in now, kind of beyond this point, takes on the appearance of human-made stonework. So where you guys are situated now is very much underneath the palace by some number of levels.
I think his exact words were around the corners nearby. So
there's a heavy oak door to this, to the south here. This door here is also made of heavy oak, and that leads into the barracks.
We've already peeked in here. They had the door open, and we very gently shut it to let them get their Betty by.
Yes, there are 2 guards sleeping in there.
Alright, well. Oh, is this door open? Right here? Like, can I get into here and then...
Yeah, this is just a doorway. There's not a door here. And there's a rolling stone door at this position.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's closed?
It's closed. These doors, they're large circular stones that people have to actually grab and forcefully roll to the side. And some of them have been too heavy for you guys to move.
Alright, well, I think I'm just going to spend, up until, like, it's getting close on time, making sure that no one's creeping up on us. So just essentially doing, like, a patrol route.
Okay. Gus.
Yes.
Make me an insight check.
Math. So that's 5 minus.
Gotcha. No problem.
Yeah.
Seeker.
Yeah.
As you're pulling the eye towards the end of its patrol, Towards the end of its duration, I mean. It's 1 hour, correct?
Yep.
Towards the end of its duration, as you pull the eye back up this hallway, coming back up to where the spider silk is laid out, you see 2 palace guards entering this room here from the stairs.
All right. I'm going to move my Arcane Eye above on the ceiling over here, waiting for them to open the door.
Okay. And they open up the great oak door. One of them pulls out a small key, undoes the lock, and it opens into a small L-shaped hallway.
Guys, here, Seeker, just go.
Inside this hallway, you see 2 more guards, and as the door opens, they turn, and they exchange a few words about the shift change. There's nothing to report that happened during their watch. There doesn't seem to be anything to watch in this small hallway from your position. And after a minute or two, when you come down around the corner, you see the room ends at another heavy oak door here, but at this position are iron bars running vertically from floor to ceiling with no apparent way to open them. It's not a gate, just bars.
Hey, Brick, can I get a quick non-cipher bonus here?
To do what?
I would like to take the bead curtain off of Seeker's person while he's concentrating on the spell and hang it over this doorway.
Yeah, okay.
Are the bars wider than an inch apart? Or are they closer than an inch apart?
No, they're wide enough that your Arcane Eye can slip through them.
Alright, I'm going to try to slip through them.
And there's a heavy oak door on the other side.
Alright, I think I'll just wait here for a few moments to see if the guards have any plan on opening up this door.
You don't see how the guards could reach that door, because they'd have to go through the bars as well, and they're definitely wider than 1 inch. So the 2 relieved guards leave the hallway. And sure enough, one of the 2 guards that takes up position in here is wearing an eye patch over his left eye.
And I'll report to the others that it looks like even if we had jumped that guy, we wouldn't have been able to get through. There's bars covering up the hallway.
Did you see a way to open them?
It didn't look like it. It kind of just looked like they were built into the floor. I mean, theoretically, they must have been moved at some point, unless they used teleportation magic.
Might be a way to raise or lower them mechanically.
But I don't think we would have gotten that by jumping them.
Okay.
So what's next?
Do we think the king is in there? Like,
Yeah, that's our best guess right now. So there are 2 guards inside that door,
yeah.
one of whom has an eye patch, and there's 2 guards heading back up the stair.
So the 2 guards that were relieved would move into the barracks in case of an emergency. The 2 in the barracks are now relieved and would go upstairs. The 2 fresh ones have taken up position in this L-shaped room. So it'll probably be a few moments before the ones who've entered the barracks have gone to sleep. All 6 of them are dwarves, by the way. I do believe I mentioned that. And dwarves love drow. They're their favorite.
I'll be right back.
Fortunately, everything I have is pretty ostentatious and flashy. I don't know if I'd be able to grant anything subtle in that case.
All right.
I could attempt to use clairvoyance to see behind that door.
What are the requirements for that?
I would need 10 minutes in here. Concentrate.
We've got to.
We've
Well, we
got
got to wait. Yeah. We've got to wait for those guards to go to sleep anyway.
Do you like choose the distance and direction? Like what are the restrictions on it?
It needs to be a place that's either familiar to me or an obvious location that is unfamiliar. One of the specific examples given is behind a door that I've seen.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds good. I think we give it like another half hour for the guards to finish their shift change. Doesn't seem like nothing happens in here, like with this silk strand.
No, nothing appeared to.
Okay. Yeah, my vote's to give it another half hour and then let Seeker do his magic stuff.
Okay, and with the Arcane Eye in the room, you just watch the two guards. They're just, one of them is patrolling north and south, one of them's patrolling east and west, and it looks absurd. Because
A 15-foot hallway.
Yeah, that's
Secret door somewhere.
they're guarding something here.
Yeah.
What's next?
Or a secret lever.
If we've waited out the time of the eye, then yeah, I can get started on clairvoyance.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you placing your clairvoyance sensor?
Sec, I just have to click something. All right, I'm going to place it behind this door.
Behind this door, you see what is clearly a connection into the sewers. It looks very similar to the sewers that you guys have explored previously. You have this higher ledge here, and then 10 or 12 feet below it, it curves down into a channel where just a bare trickle of water flows down the middle. And then this sewer area continues off to the north and off to the east into lands unknown.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, and I'll tell others. I see the sewers. I don't think they'd be keeping the Kim's body here.
Huh. That's interesting. Wonder why they're guarding that so fastidiously.
And it is the entrance into the sewers then, which would be that is an entryway, an access point to get into the sewers.
Hey Connor, do you think you can stay out of sight and see if the guards are asleep in the rest chamber? If we're free to move back out there.
Make him invisible so he can go scouting.
I feel like at this point I feel like I have enough confidence as a stealth that I'm not going to need to make him invisible. We also kind of know the area a little bit better, and he has magic still.
So now he wants you to go scouting without even making you invisible first.
Connor, in the time that I've gotten to know you, creating a great face in your abilities.
In the 8 minutes
That's it.
you've been here.
Basically, we've decided we don't like Connor, and it's time for discard and draw.
Connor,
Connor ditched us against those rounds.
Let's get a stealth check.
Let's get a stealth check.
Ooh, roll high.
Whoa. Oh no.
He's telling McDohl to roll high. That's
If he dies,
sus.
That is a 22.
Okay. As you come around the corner here, into the south-heading hallway, you can see the flickering shadows against this far wall of torchlight, as they again have left the door open. And as you do come around the corner, you hear a hushed conversation in Dwarven from the room. What's
You know
next?
what language I don't know?
Dwarven?
Dwarven. You know who could have? Some other guy.
Keelian.
Yeah, there you go. Alright. Connor relays what he saw.
I guess we should wait a little while for them to go to sleep then.
Yeah.
Where do we look now?
If anyone knows Dwarvish,
I do.
they're having a conversation down there.
Yes, let me just plate mail my way over there and listen to the conversation.
all right, I'm gonna need you to learn receptionist shorthand. Write that down. Conversation down phonetic.
What's next?
So I think our next goal is, since this is a sewer, either there's a room in the sewer. There's
going
a
on over
door here. Yeah, there's a door there.
I
too.
don't think there's a room in the sewer. I think we need to check some of these other doors in this area. I just want to wait for those guards to go to sleep.
So either they're patrolling down here. I don't think it's up here. There's no guards up here. This is a block passage, right? They blasted it.
Yeah, you found what would have been ancient stairs leading to an upper level here and here, but they've long since collapsed.
Right.
Well, are they patrolling the sewers because that's the way in, and they figure that no one's going to get in through the castle?
They're not patrolling the sewer. They're just patrolling this
Or,
tiny
right,
L-shaped
that's what I
hallway.
meant, yeah, they're patrolling that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they were concerned about that, they would.
And then the room we came in through is both the wall trap and this sealed, immovable, psionically magic stone door. Like, they might just think that the sewers are the only way in, and that's why they're patrolling that so heavily.
I don't know. That screams incompetence to me. Because
I don't know. If you guard the entrances, that's
They're
how you guard...
weakened at Barney'sing the king. How competent do you think they are?
Well, also, if you guard the entrances, that's the most guarding you can do with the least number of people. How many people do they really want to tell that the king is dead? I mean, that might be why the guards aren't guarding the king's body. They might not know.
That's a good point.
It's on a need-to-know basis only. Like, boss tells you who to guard, you guard, right?
You're told, hey, guard the entrance to the sewers. We don't want anyone getting into the catacombs.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Yeah, I think we wait another bit for them to fall asleep.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Do you think there's a hidden chamber that they're guarding?
How will you know when they're asleep?
Like I said, we just gotta give them 30 minutes.
Give them 30 minutes and then send Connor again.
Okay.
And Connor, you should have advantage on these stealth if you're only being heard because you have the magic boots. Like if it's not a visual stealth.
Hey,
Good
Connor has weird telepathy, right? Can he like phonetically tell me what they're saying? Like with his brain?
Does Connor have weird telepathy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Connor has telepathy.
Connor, let's get a stealth roll.
Nice.
That is a 27.
Okay. As you approach the room the second time, there's still a flickering of torchlight, but you no longer hear anything from the inside of the room.
And let's close that door.
And you pull the door closed, and you no longer see the flickering torchlight.
And Connor says to Gus telepathically that the door's closed. They can come out.
Okay.
Is the spider strand still here?
It's still here.
Hasn't been broken at all by guards moving through?
Remember, it was snaking across the bottom of the floor.
Yeah.
I guess it would look stomped on in that case.
Oh, I'll grab the curtain and put it back in Seeker's pack.
I imagine you just like tilt his head to the side. There's a cavity in his neck that you just drop things into.
Like a Pez dispenser.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll hop over that.
Gnome physiology is weird.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to close the door behind us, and I'm going to cast Arcane Lock on it.
Okay.
On this door right here. I'm going to designate all of us to be able to get in and out, but like Arcane Lock, not him.
Yeah.
That would be really weird. We can all get in and out of the door.
Oh, I don't like this spell. I was going to ask him what password do you use, but you don't actually have to use a password. You can just
Do you have
magically
3,
designate
4,
people.
5 gold pieces worth of gold dust?
Oh,
Because Alex does.
okay. I have 25 gold pieces.
And he's
I
really
specifically
mad
have
at that trial.
that spell.
Okay, so or arcane lock the door.
Yeah, he just seems smug, and I just,
Should I mark the equipment? Okay, I'll mark off though.
yeah.
I have 1 casting left on me.
It's a business expense.
What's next?
Go check on this door, I think, guys. What do you think, team?
Sure.
This is one of the heavy oak doors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, do we have a scout now?
Maybe
We have a
Seems like-
we have a proper adventurer in the group.
That's a whisper to hang out with. Actually, no, I'm not, because he seems likely to get hit by a fireball.
Likely to be eaten by a guru.
Connor will cast Find Traps, specifically on the door.
Okay, give me a second to... I don't think I've ever seen anybody cast this spell.
Find
know, right?
traps?
Yeah.
Not fund traps.
Guys, where do we find this guy?
It's a different spell.
He found us. He brought Kana into the sewers and everything. That's why we don't have Scrappy, because we had to send Scrappy back out of the sewers with the small child.
I do love the wording of the spell. A trap for purposes of this spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by its creator, hereafter notarized as
A trap.
So we must now have an exhaustive conversation about what Connor considers harmful or undesirable.
Slander.
So a door that just like it's got a magic mouth, it's like stop it, you cunt. Like that's undesirable.
Oh, that's
Would that
totally
be libel? I think that might be considered libel. I mean,
I also don't want actually truthful statements. So like detection doors, not proud of.
It's like
So
what if you
like,
consider cherry pie harmful? Like what if you're just allergic to cherries and you
I think
cast
that
it
would
on your
count.
bakery?
Yeah, that would totally count. Well, no, it only counts if the baker also knew that the person going for the pie was allergic to cherries. Like,
Connor,
That's
you could
true.
absorb lightning, but if the creature that created the trap didn't know that, it would still ping.
hey,
I think if the spell was Find Cherries, I would absolutely agree. But it's not, it's Find Traps.
what if it's
I
a
think-
malicious baker specifically baking pies to serve to people they know have a cherry allergy? Connor, you do not find any traps in the vicinity.
safe word, safe word, safe word.
There was one campaign where you allowed us to come up with a spell, and now I'm just thinking of like Find Pie.
Locate pie.
Okay, Jan.
within 1,000 feet.
You find all pies. Connor opens the door.
You can't. It's
That-
locked.
Oh, it's locked.
That's harmful or undesirable.
Power word
What?
apple turnover.
Let's go ahead and do a Thieves' Tools. Thieves' Tools lockpick.
And after just a few moments, you realize your lockpicks are futile because it is magically locked. This is the first magically locked door you have encountered, unless you count the psionic ones to the south.
Or the one we just made.
Or the one you just made. Or any of the other ones.
Actually, no, the very first session, somebody arcane locked the goddamn door to the pub.
They
Yeah,
did.
That probably happened, sure.
Yeah, no, that absolutely happened.
Then there was an arcane locked door in the sewers.
Gus just goes around arcane locking all the doors. But yes, you would need to
Dispel
know
some sort of
password
magic
or...
there.
Yes, definitely magically sealed.
So the DC is only increased by 10. I never gave you the result of that pick locks.
Well, I set the DC. I'm the DM.
Okay.
No, you can't pick a magic lock with mundane tools.
Great.
Okay. Does Seeker know knock?
I know dispel magic.
That would work.
That worked. Yep.
All right. By all means.
Why do you think I don't know sleep at the moment?
Why is Seeker so tiny?
He's a gnome.
So you
I
dispel,
think I'm shorter than Seeker, so I should probably...
dispel magic on the door,
Yeah, let's dispel magic on this door.
and you feel the lock on the door seep away.